Thank you for watching. I'm Freeman, presenting on behalf of my student, Maloney. The title of our paper is Body, Avatar, and Me, the Presentation and Perception of Self in Social Virtual Reality. Self-presentation in online digital social spaces has been a long-standing research interest in HCI and CSCW. As online social spaces evolve towards more embodied digital representations, it is important to understand how users construct and experience their self and interact with other self in new and more complicated ways. One such example is social virtual reality. Social VR refers to 3D virtual spaces where multiple users can interact with one another through VR head-mounted displays. Especially, social VR introduces an entirely new form of self-presentation by offering full-body tracked avatars, where the avatar's movements will correspond to the real-time movements of one's physical body. Therefore, to further explore the nuanced self-presentation dynamics in social VR, in this paper we focus on three research questions. What criteria do people use to construct their self-presentation in social VR? How do people perceive and approach others' self-presentation in social VR? And how, if at all, does self-presentation in social VR affect people's understanding of their self? To collect data, we conducted 30 interviews with social VR users with diverse gender, race, and experiences of social VR platforms. We then used an in-depth qualitative analysis to analyze the data. To answer RQ1, our findings show that social VR users construct their self-presentation based on two main criteria: creating consistent self-presentation that is similar to one's physical self, or building platform-specific self-presentation based on the social atmosphere afforded by the platform. To answer RQ2, we found that aesthetics, gender, race, and maturity are four important aspects that social VR users often emphasize when perceiving and approaching others' self-presentation. To answer RQ3, we found that self-presentation in social VR affects people's understanding of their self in three ways: as an adventurous means to experience one's everyday self, as an engaging approach to discover one's unknown self, and as an embodied way to explore gender identity. By way of a conclusion, we want to highlight several implications of our work. First, we highlight a self-presentation mechanism that emphasizes consistency in social VR. This interplay of body, avatar, audience, and conscious personal choices makes self-presentation in social VR quite unique. Second, we call for more research on the essential role of voice in perceiving others' self-presentation and the intertwining relationships among different dimensions of identity presentation, such as appearance, gender, race, and age. We also point to several new perspectives of the previous effects in social VR, which refers to the phenomenon where people conform to their avatar and the mental makeup of their avatar. On the one hand, Proteus effect can be experienced in a more powerful and embodied manner in social VR due to the direct connection between one's body and his or her avatar. On the other hand, many participants also clearly stated their preference to distinguish the VR self from the physical self. Lastly, we also highlight a few implications for social VR design that can better support nuanced self-presentation, including avatar design for presenting cultural identity and gender identity, platform embedded voice modulators, and alternatives to full-body tracked avatars. Therefore, our study contributes to the growing body of CSCW literature on social VR by offering empirical evidence of how social VR platforms afford new phenomena and approaches of novel identity practices, and by providing potential design implications to further support such practices. We also expand the existing research agenda in CSCW on the increasing complexity of people's self-presentation in emerging novel sociotechnical systems. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.